Hi guys, welcome to today's video on the Valora Trade channel. So we have been on a 4-part series on why SLP fails. In today's video, we'll be talking about the psychology aspect or how psychology contributes to why SLP fails. So we've touched on market structure, we've touched on point of interest, we've talked about liquidity, how they all contribute to why SLP fails. Now we'll be talking about the last part which of this series, which is psychology. So ensure you watch through the video. It might take a bit of time because we need to expatiate on many things and try to deal each of them specifically. So let's dive into today's topic. Right, psychology. So I know you've heard about psychology from other people, and when the term psychology comes, the first thing is that my emotions are so messed up. My head is so messed up. My brain is damaged. Oh, I cannot trade. I can't take trade. I can't play straight. Oh, but psychology really, most of the time might not just be your emotions. Your emotion might be well in check. 90% of the time that you blame your emotions for psychology is really not your emotion. It's just that you've not set certain rules or certain things in place to be able to control and for you to get a desired outcome, basically. So I made research basically and I picked out 4 to 5 points about why psychology contributes. So the first point I picked out was that most people don't even know the basics of SLP concept of any concept. So they just dive into the advanced. Like you want to learn on ICT now, you don't know the basic about ICT trading. You don't even know market structure. You don't know a lot. You don't know about PDRAs. That's why for ICT basically. You don't even know about time theory, time and price theory. You don't know about a lot. So, but you want to stick to the basic and you want to start utilizing the strategy. It's not going to work. So you need to know the basics of every concept before you start utilizing the advanced. What I see out in the market is that most people using SLP concepts are just trading it as a pattern. So they don't even have the basic underlying of every single concept, which is market structure. They don't have the basic. What is the idea behind market structure? Why is price making highs and lows? Why after every high there must be a low? Why is it happening that way? You don't know about liquidity. Why must price take liquidity before it goes in an internal direction? You don't know about point of interest. Why is order block holding? What is order block? What is breaker block? So most of these terms, we need to know them, their basics. We need to understand the fundamentals, or else you're just trading patterns. And what's difference do you have from people trading support and resistance? Even them, they have basic idea of how the market moves, so they're not just trading blindly. But when you're trading patterns, what you're doing is that you're trading blindly. You're just trading according to a certain move. You don't even know the basic underlying behind that move. So you need to understand the basics and the fundamentals behind every concept before you start utilizing. And I think this is the main reason, or this is one of the contributing reasons why psychology contributes to our SLP fail. So the number two I outlined was that there are specific rules in trading SLP concepts, but not everybody knows. So in the SLP concepts now, there are 3 parts basically, or four. The fourth is a very simple one, which is directional bias. You could use anything for directional bias as long as you understand the market. But the 3 most crucial parts is the market structure, the liquidity, and the point of interest. So there are specific rules in picking a right zone to trade from, but people ignore these rules and then go out and say that SLP is failing. SLP is failing. If you see, there's a lot of drama. I think my mentor Tony Aika, right, had some few losses. Then people now start. A lot of people, I think what I don't even know what they call them on Twitter. I don't use that app much, so they were just trying to shade him and trying to say, okay, SLP concepts are just, I don't know. All concept works. It is your psychology or your approach to that concept that is going to determine what is going to look like for you. All concepts works. Be it ICT, SMC, SLP, SLK, any concept you could look at, they work in the market. So Stick to the rules. Know the specific rules behind every movement. Know the specific rules behind the movement before you start saying SLP don't work. If you can understand the specific mode behind all these concepts, if you can expand, understand and learn how to like capture the basic and the fundamental rules attached to SLP concepts, you're going to be ahead of every other person. Like I said, at the first point, we understood that people were trading blindly on patterns, right? Number two, he said that specific rules. Now, let me touch on one aspect of the concept, which is the point of interest. There are specific rules now in picking a proper point of interest. The first rule is that it must not be mitigated. There must be a market structure shift or a break of structure before you even start looking for your zone. You see, those are rules. But many people ignore these rules and just jump onto the chart, just start plotting whatever, whenever anything they find, and just lay on their hands upon. You understand? Then the third part I outlined is that picking the right trade or taking the right trade in the right state of the market and the right move of the market. So the market has states and the market has moves. For the states now, there are three states we know of, and we utilize only two for SLP concepts. The first state we know of is uptrend, the second state is the downtrend, and the third state is the ranging market or the sideways market, choppy market, whatever you want to call it. But the idea is that we don't trade ranging markets, we only trade trending markets, which is the downtrend and the uptrend. So within these two states, there are also moves that happen within these two states. First, let's go to example. So this is a move here. If you could see, if we point out, let me go to the daily, or let's just stick to these 4 hours. You could see right here that market is moving in an uptrend. By the time, if you come to chart at this position, you could tell that okay, market is in a downtrend. When you look at this same position, you could tell that okay, market is in an uptrend. So for every state you find in the market, there are also moves that market makes in each stages. So taking the right trade in the right state and the right move will contribute and help you increase your win rate and also reduce the losses on SLP. And it might also be a contributing factor to why you keep getting losses and keep complaining about SLP failing. So this is one state. Like I said, downtrend is a state and uptrend is a state. But in each stage, there are moves that price make. So there are what you call the correctional move and the impulse. So for every state in the market, there are moves and price make one of two moves at a single time, at a specific time. It's either making an impulsive move or a correctional move. An impulsive move or a correctional move, an impulsive move or a correctional move before price switch trend. So if you see when price switch trend here, same thing occur again, an impulsive move, correctional move, an impulsive move, a correctional move, an impulsive move, a correctional move. So this is how the markets move. But if you ignore this aspect of the market and you jump onto the trade, like I said, trading patterns, you get stopped out a lot and you keep on complaining that, oh, SLP does not work, SLP does not work. It is not working because you are choosing to ignore the basic fundamentals of SLP itself. So this is the third point. Now, the fourth point I outlined was that applying proper risk management, because SLP is a high risk to reward trading. We learn to utilize high risk to reward, right? High risk to reward trades. So thereby we have lesser win rates than most people. So you see people having 18 win rates, 80%, 70%. But for SLP traders, the best you could achieve, I'm telling you, that with time, the best you could achieve when you have contributed and you've back tested a lot, you have trust in so much in your strategy is 60%. I don't even think you achieve 60% as an SLP trader. Let's say 60 to 50%. But for a newbie, you should be targeting around 30 to 40%. And it's good because if you outline it in 10 trades, if you take 10 trades, 1 to 10 are each, you fail 7, that's 7 are gone. But a single trade could recover all the losses you made. And let's say you take three of those trades, you're making 30R against 7R, although a lot of contributing factors are going to add psychology and emotions, but I'm just trying basic math yet. So this is the idea. You have low win rate, but guess what? We are using high risk to reward. Thereby, it gives us an edge over the market that okay, even though we fail 5 trade in a row, one trade could erase all our losses and give us much, much profit with it. So learn to apply proper risk management. There's a famous quote online. I saw that if you have capital, you are still in the game. But when you don't have capital, you're no longer in the game. So the moment if you still have your capital in check, you could definitely come back. There will definitely be another setup. It may not be this week, it may be next week, but there will always be a setup. There will always be a setup. But there might be no capital anymore. Or you might find it hard to get capital anymore. But there will always be a setup in the market. There will always be a setup in the market. So basically, that's much of it. That's the fourth point. Applying proper risk management and have a trading plan. Have a trading plan. Have a good trading plan. Have it. Go online to search trading plan, or probably I'll make a video in subsequent sessions. But I think in the next video I'm making, I will start touching every single aspect basically. Then start picking random stuffs on how to really increase our win rate and how to get better on SLP concepts. And also maybe in prior times, in subsequent times, I'll start adding other concepts. You could also comment on the video what concept do you want me to touch on. I have some knowledge about SMC, I have about SLK, I have a lot, but I use SLP alone. I don't confuse myself. I've learned, and I learned the hard way, that's okay. Trying to mix all strategies together is going to get you cooked in the market. So I stick to one, and it's SLP, and that's what I'm going to keep on using for a while, for a long, 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 long time. I'll keep refining, of course, and keep getting better, but still I'll focus on SLP. So that's the fourth thing. That's the fourth point. Have a proper risk management and have a good trading plan. Then the fifth and the last point I sticked out is that stick to SLP concepts only. Stick to SLP concept. Don't contribute. Don't go and look for ICT concept. Don't pick an ICT concept or an ICT scenario and add. Like now in SLP, we don't make use of FVG. But you're trying to add FVG to SLP is going to complicate you a lot, because let me even give an example. Let me see if I can find an example on a lower time frame. But just the idea. Okay. Don't know. For some reason, trading view no loading. Alright, okay, this is it. So let's say you're adding, what are they calling you? If you're utilizing AVG and you want to add it to SLP concept, this is what you get stopped out at this point, because you're sticking to a concept that is not yet used. Now, this is a concept here also. If you're using AVG and you're adding it to SLP, you would have gotten stopped out at this position, because you are ignoring the basic fact that we don't utilize AVG in SLP trading, SLP concept. We don't utilize AVG. So don't bring other concepts and add it. What you could do is that you could use other concepts, or you could find a way to refine your directional. If it's for directional bias now, yeah, you could use other things, and you find, for like I do that now, which is CRT. I picked CRT and incorporated it with SLP. So what I do is that I use CRT as a bias, as a confirmation, an extra confluence for my bias, and then I use SLP as entry. SLP is an entry concept. It is used solely to enter a trade. So it's an entry concept. Don't try to use an entry concept and start bringing other tools into like Fibonacci tools, all this stuff. It's going to complicate you, and too much knowledge is a vice. So learn to use the proper concepts of SLP. Don't complicate yourself. Don't complicate SLP. So if you could do this, you're going to see yourself scale in SLP trading. And the last, I do not have this. I just picked it now. Is that always take profits. Find a way to take profits. Price will not always go to your 10 hour. Price will not always go to your 15 hour. When you're up 6 hour, 7 hour, 8 hour, take profits. Take profits. And if you don't do that, you'll learn. If you do TP or SL only, you're going to learn. So when price is up 6 hour, 7 hour, out of 10 hour, guy, that should be greed. You should take profits. Take profits. Always take profits. Price may reverse. You don't know what the market is going to do next. So that's all for today's video. I'm going to see you in the next. I don't think I'll be holding a series, but ensure you like and subscribe. The next videos that will be dropped on this channel are going to be bangers, and you don't want to miss out. So bye for now. ensure you have a good time.